feel like I do. Who goes out on a Tuesday night in this town? Far's too quiet and the cover band's too loud. Step outside, I'm about to leave when you right on by, and I'll just freeze. Times you try to find someone that hits me like you. And I'm not the type who likes to rush in, but I want to. I don't know you, but it feels like I do. And I was frozen when you walked in the room. 'Cause every single word, it just makes my stomach turn. 'Cause I don't know you, but it feels like I do. Oh, hello. I almost didn't notice the show had started, even though I was looking into the camera. Sorry, I was just jamming out to the new Vin Diesel cut. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show. Who here has ever been to a live TV show taping before? I see some people are feeling clever. They got the head of the answer. Hendo Bendo was saying, I've been to a live TV show taping before I asked. That doesn't count. I might have tricked you. I mean, I didn't. You said you answered the question. I did ask first. But next week, I might trick you. Folks, what can I say? 6 months of this shit. No live studio audience. So we need you to tweet. We need you to hashtag. We need you on the Reddit and the Discords. We need you to take over Facebook. We need to take back Facebook. We need to make it primarily a place for trading George Lucas Talk Show memes. That's the plan. That's the goal this week. I'm calling it. This week we take back Facebook. Operation Take Back Facebook. Let's see what the hashtags are this week. Hashtag Amera Bill Corbetti. Hashtag The Empire Strikes Bill. Hashtag Boba Corbett. Those all go down smoothly. Hashtag Mandan Dana-arian. Hashtag Mandana-arian. I don't know. Hashtag The Schwartz Awakens. Sure. Yes. Hashtag Vote Blue D2. That has nothing to do with the gas. It just has to do with George's lefty politics. Of course, we know. I am one of the architects of the ideological dark web. That's my alignment. I like chaos. I like for chaos to reign supreme. However, I'm not a meshy bitch who lives for the drama. How about we start the show?
George Lucas. Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Welcome once again to the George Lucas Talk Show. I'm very excited. This is our 10th episode. I know those numbers might feel like we've done more because we're not counting our charity marathon. So last week's does not count as a normal episode. But as noted in the crawl, there are now more episodes of our regular digital show than there are episodes in the Skywalker saga.
Hey George, is it raining in Marin County right now?
I
No.
also wanted to pop in because the rain is very loud now, George.
It's not rain, that's fire.
That sounds like fire in glorious THX surround sound. It is a very upsetting
Those are flames.
noise. George, do you have headphones in? Why is it the loudest rain I've ever heard?
I have headphones in, but the sound doesn't go into the headphones.
Okay.
The sound goes into the microphone. I promise we have a fire department here that can deal with it. I promise if it gets bad, I'll leave the live stream.
George, can you try holding the microphone closer to your face?
Like this? Is that better? You like that better?
It sounds pretty good.
So you like?
Sounds good. Yeah, you should do that, George.
All right, here we go.
Hey, can I say it to everybody?
Absolutely.
Happy Vin Week.
Happy Vin Week, Watto.
Happy Vin Week, Watto.
First single ever.
Patrick, who asked you to come in before Watto and I had done our bonding?
Yeah, Patrick, get out of here. Get out of here.
Wow.
George.
Unbelievable. You and I barely had a chance to say hello.
I know. I didn't have the chance to wish you a happy Vin Week before Patrick came in and stole the happy Vin Week that was intended for you. Can I try it again?
Yeah, let's try it again.
Happy Vin Week, George.
Happy Vin Week, Watto. I missed you. I missed you. I have been listening. I have been listening. It's good.
It's a bop.
It's a bop. It's a banger.
It's a banger. It slaps.
Slaps. As they would say on Empire. That's hot.
Yeah. It's hot.
Yeah.
George,
hot.
what were you going to say? It sounded like you were going to say something sweet and emotional.
I love you, Watto.
I love you too, George.
You're right. You called it. That's pretty sweet, pretty emotional.
Pretty sweet, pretty emotional. The Vin song, Feel Like I Do, is about sort of the way someone else can make you feel.
That's right.
And I listened to it and I went, this is a song about me and George.
I think
That's
so.
what this is about. No one else makes me feel like I do. You make me feel like I do. That's, I guess, how it.
You make me feel like I do.
You make me feel like I do. George.
All right, Patrick. Patrick, you've been out in the cold long enough. Why don't you come on into the kitchen?
Happy Vin Week, Patrick.
Happy Vin Week, Patrick.
Happy Vin Week, Watto. Happy Vin Week, George.
Do you know the name of his vanity record label?
I don't know.
RiffTrax.
Ooh.
That's good. Ben, that's good.
Oh.
That's good.
I like that because it sounds so fast.
I believe it was founded 15 years ago, and now they finally released their first single.
Art takes as long as it takes.
Exactly.
Yeah. I feel like not only does it bop, I feel like it's a real McClunky.
I agree. It's McClunky's.
It shoots first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
George,
Patrick, what's your fucking deal this week?
Yeah, what's your deal this week, Patrick?
It's pretty much the same as it always is.
Is it?
Let's introduce our guest. Let's start the show, guys. Let's bring him on in.
Oh.
All right, let's do it.
I want to maintain a new tradition I've started. I want the guest to type in how they want to be introduced in the private chat.
A great new tradition.
Ooh,
This was fun last time we did this, right?
this was fun. Yeah,
We had a fun time watching them type.
The guest can type in anything they want, and Watto will say it as the way to introduce.
Okay.
That's fire. It sounds like it's only getting
typing.
closer.
This is fun.
I don't see anything.
Oh, I do.
Oh, no. Oh, I see it.
I see something.
Okay. I got one. I got one, and I like it.
One. All right.
Okay. I'm going to draw out this first announcement while I wait for the second person to list their credit.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a hot show tonight. First up, from the president of the Vin Diesel International Fan Club, Bill Corbett, and pajama connoisseur Dana Schwartz. Hey.
Welcome.
Welcome.
That was a good one. Those are two good credits to be introduced by, guys.
Sorry. Yeah.
Happy Vin Week, everybody.
Happy Vin Week.
I had my microphone muted.
That's okay. Happy Vin Week, Dana. Happy Vin Week, Bill.
Thank you. And Watto, I do want to say happy Yom Kippur and easy fast if you're partaking.
Well, I count that as part of Vin Week, and no, I'm not fasting. In fact, I got the Domino's pizza. I'm going to eat it right now. But you enjoy your fast if that's what floats your boat.
Thank you, Watto.
And I think this week, I think part of the reason that we can account for the high caliber of the introductions is that you're both writers. You know what you're doing. You know, if we had a couple of actors or singers on here, they might have struggled with that challenge. But you guys both nailed it. You nailed it like professionals.
No,
Thank you.
Learn the phrase.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the job. Thank you for recognizing that, George.
Oh, I appreciate it. Now, Bill, you know, I'm a fan of your work, and I know you're familiar with my work because you've given me the business. You've given me the business. You love to give the business, don't you, Bill? I
do love to give the business, but I hope you know it's all from love.
I can tell that.
Don Rickles used to say, "It's all about love."
Mm-hmm. But I sometimes find it when I'm revisiting my work, I'll sometimes decide to revisit it through a riff track rather than if I have to rewatch for one reason or another, I'll pop an earbud in and listen to the riff track, hear those jokes.
Whenever George makes us rewatch his movies, we're like, "Oh yeah, we have the Blu-rays," and he goes, "No,
wow,
we're gonna watch the riff track." He always does it.
So how does is it like a masochistic thing, or does it help you? Do you learn?
I learn because sometimes the jokes are veiled criticisms, and sometimes I think, "Oh, that's a valid point," but done with whimsy and mirth, and I appreciate it. I always liked it when I like it when people spoof me because I think people take stuff too seriously, and I think you do a service. Because I think it's a joyful thing. It's not like hate watching.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can tell whenever you guys really don't like a film, and that's a different vibe, you know?
Yeah, we try to make it funny first and foremost, because if we're not being that, then we're just cranky old men, and we're headed that way. But let's not rush it.
Right.
And also, Bill, it's worth noting he wouldn't turn to the RiffTrax in sort of out of a masochistic impulse, because George has a history of getting cucked for real. If that's what gets his juices flowing, he doesn't need to have some people lampoon him,
Wow.
We're starting on this early.
Wow.
I mean, Watto, you should tell him.
That's pretty heavy in the first 10 minutes.
Right.
Should I tell them or should George tell them?
Watto, if I wanted to tell them, I would have led with it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're the one to tell the tale this week.
Can I ask that we put George full screen while I tell the tale?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Bill.
Yes.
Dana.
Yes.
George was married to Marshall Lucas, who edited the Star Wars movies. Over time, he became consumed with his career and perhaps lost track of his marriage a little bit. One of those projects consuming his time was the building of the Skywalker Ranch. He hired a local craftsman in Marin County to install a gigantic stained glass foyer in his library.
Uh-oh.
Marsha fucked the stained glass artist and fully left George for this stained glass artist. And George still has the stained glass hanging in his home to this day. He sees it on a daily basis.
George, you need to move on. You shouldn't have that. Reminder.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice stained glass. Like, I get it.
It's not the glass's fault. I'm not going to blame glass.
You can afford a new stained glass.
I know, but what a waste that would be.
I'm sorry.
Right?
I did tilt my camera down a little bit because I have a visitor on my lap, and it's my cat Beetlejuice.
Oh,
And
Beetlejuice.
he's
Hi,
really-
Beetlejuice.
'cause he looks
Hold on! That's 3 times! They said it 3 times!
That's one person has to say it 3 times, right?
You
Yes,
got one more, George.
Unbroken 3 times in a row.
Besides, quite honestly, I would love to have Beetlejuice on the show.
Beetlejuice wants his close up.
No,
Beetlejuice
wants his close-up?
We got tired of this. This is a little
Patrick! Each of you is at 2 strikes now by my count.
Uh-oh.
We'll keep track. If anyone else.
Beetlejuice. Now we're all even.
Okay.
Dana, people in the comments are saying you're rocking a good Padme look.
Oh,
Padme look. I was going for like a Bridget Bardot in her pajamas look. I figure as long as we're doing this from home, I should lean into it and actually do it from my actual bed. And this is, of course, what I wear to bed every single night.
oh, bejeweled.
Yeah,
Bejeweled, and are those fringes around are those ankle fringe
it's,
and
yes,
and wrist
feathers.
fringe, ankle and wrist fringe?
Yeah.
Is this your penthouse apartment on the Upper East Side? It must be.
This is
Well-
my studio apartment in West Hollywood.
I would say that Brigitte Bardot and Padme would be in the same quadrant glamour-wise.
Yes.
Yeah. It's Padme. You can't see around. I'm actually in a fully glass apartment that overlooks the city where motorists are flying through the sky below.
Wow. Oh, City of Planets.
Pulled out the name of that city. I just can't remember it.
Coruscant.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just picture you just take the word croissant and just change it a little bit.
Bill, what is your favorite Star Wars movie and what is your least favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, man. With George Lucas sitting here, I have to answer this.
Who better?
You know what?
Whatever.
We'll all leave and then you guys.
That was kind of the opposite of what I hoped for. My favorite Star Wars movie is probably Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, currently in theaters.
Is it really?
Yeah, Disney apparently decided to be for the anniversary to release it in theaters. What a responsible thing to do during a pandemic.
Yay!
Right?
They were playing it in like drive-in movies around the country this summer here and there. Seemed like a good idea.
Fine. That's fine. Because that's distance. Now, that's your least favorite? You don't like Empire?
My most favorite. That's my most favorite.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did I say least? I'm so negative.
I think I just heard least because I think that's the one. It's good. It's good. I don't want to make, but it's got a little bit too much improv in it.
Who was doing improv, George?
Irving had it was supposed to be I love you and then I love you too, and they improvised the I know.
Oh man.
And I said it's gonna get laughs, which is fine if it's a riff track. That would have been a great, in a way they took your line. That would have been a great riff track.
Yeah, leave it to us, guys.
Yeah.
You just play your love scene.
And I was furious because I really said people are gonna laugh at this line. Whereas if he says I love you too, they won't laugh because it's just a very basic thing to say.
Yeah. I've heard that. I've never done that, but I've heard that it works.
So, interesting. So that's your first. So what's your least favorite then?
Oh, maybe because it's really just, still smarting. The last one with when
Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, because being
is it too smart?
Too smart for me. Yeah, I couldn't understand it. It was very intricate.
Smarting?
It was like Finnegan's Wake. It was just absolutely brilliant.
I'd say that's fine. I'm so glad you didn't mention one of the prequels. So you'd rather watch, because sometimes people like to rag on the prequels. You're one of those guys who's like, give me those prequels. I'll eat them up. Give
me the sweet, sweet prequels. The more like parliamentary scenes, the better.
Hey, I predicted pretty much everything that has happened.
Fair. Yeah,
right.
We did.
Right, no. Because it all happened. The Sith are in charge. They're getting to pick a new judge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And they're picking some guy with spikes and tattoos all over his face, and a double lightsaber.
I mean, basically, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to chop the Affordable Care Act with a double-sided lightsaber. That's
Yes,
for sure.
indeed. Yeah.
No,
George, let's switch. We'll ask Dana the same question now. Okay.
absolutely. Hi, Dana. Oh, hey, Dana.
Favorite, I would have to say, is a tie between New Hope and Last Jedi.
Great.
I'm one of those people.
Right.
And I also have to say, least favorite is Rise of Skywalker. I think at least the prequels, I think get too hard of a rap. I think they go for interesting things, but the Rise of Skywalker, forgive me for your involvement, felt a little bit like a video game cutscene.
I had no involvement in Rise of Skywalker.
Exactly. I needed more George Lucas. It felt to me like when you're at a amusement park and you're on a ride and you got the real actors to do the little scenes on the ride. Yeah. It felt like a whole movie of that. At least, it was infuriating. I thought more George Lucas.
It's my problem with my only issue with some of those movies is it's not what actually happened. You know what I mean? Like it's just like those movies should have been about microscopic organisms. That's what my idea for the sequels was. It was going to be about teeny tiny little microorganisms that control what everyone is doing, which once again, that's basically COVID, right? It was going to be a COVID trilogy, and people would have understood like, oh, something tiny and invisible can control everything and will be powerless to do anything about it.
My big question throughout the entire sequels was, what about the trade organizations? What is happening with
so many?
In the galaxy?
I didn't set up those questions in episode 1 to have them go unanswered in 7, 8, 9. I always thought I'll have time because now that's Chekhov's trade dispute. You show that in the first act so that the final 3 movies can be about tiny little organisms negotiating trade deals.
Yeah, it's a slap in the face to real fans who wanted to know what was happening with trade regulations.
You know what? This is music to my ears. You're singing my song, Dana.
Can I say 2
All right.
things? 1, everyone made fun of you for making that movie largely about tariffs, right?
Right.
Trump comes in immediately, tariffs. It's all about tariffs. Let's renegotiate the tariffs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, biggest conflict. It just kneecaps the economy, right? The global economy, these tariffs. Right. Number 2, I don't think this is isolated to the 2 guests we have on right now. These are intelligent, high-class people. But I also feel like we're witnessing a sea change, George. I think you would be hard-pressed to find anyone who now would list a prequel as their least favorite Star Wars movie. I would wager the vast majority of people who have seen all Star Wars movies would pick either Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker, depending on whether they're a baby or not, as their least favorite movie. Yeah. That's my wager. I think we've been vindicated.
And what better week to be vindicated than Vin Week? Right? Patrick, where'd you go? Patrick, our producer, will sometimes take a nap during the show, or he'll go for a snack. Oh, he's back. Wakey.
My internet went out, so I had to go on my phone. I'm trying
Patrick,
to get back.
Patrick, don't do that.
I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Wait, Watto, what is your favorite and least favorite Star Wars?
Oh boy.
My favorite is a tie between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones.
Sure, that makes sense.
My least favorite is The Rise of Skywalker. That movie eats ass, and not in the good way that millennials like. It eats the butt cheeks with a fork and knife in a way that's unpleasant for everybody.
Wow, that's the wrong way.
It's not analingus. It's just cannibalism. It's bad.
Wow.
Now, the Star Wars movies are about history.
Yeah, of course.
And Dana, that's an area that you are an absolute expert in. Your podcast.
They're period films about dynasties.
They happened a long, long time ago. They are.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now history doesn't have to happen far away. It can be very close physically in terms of location. But the time in that history takes place prior to whatever moment we're in. Although we are always making history, I feel like moment to moment. But your podcast is a very, very. I tried to do it. I did a TV show once called The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, where we took little baby and teenage Indiana Jones and we stuck them into very dry academic. We made Indiana Jones one of the most thrilling movie trilogies at that point ever made, and we turned it into school. And
slow down.
Yeah, we're like, why don't we take the most? It was, I think it was a great idea that was ahead of its time, but you actually take history and you make it exciting in a way that I would say that your podcast is rip roaring.
George,
is that a fair?
I would hope so. I would say history already is rip roaring. I just try to give Earth history the Star Wars treatment. I mean, really.
Right. Let's call it Indiana Jones treatment.
Indiana Jones treatment. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I thank you very much. My podcast is Noble Blood, and basically my thing is that I love history, but I'm sort of like a lay person. I love the stories. I love reading history, but I'm not like a scholar. But I want to find the interesting stories and tell them like narratives, because it's a ton of like murder and intrigue and jealousy, and it's a lot of when power's at stake, crazy things happen. So it's a lot of
like Star Wars.
Like Star Wars.
It's a lot like Star Wars.
Well, what I find that you do, which I think is interesting, is that a lot of times when kids are taught history in school, it's a lot of dates and names and places, and it's very dry. And I think there's a way to approach history where it's almost more like a soap opera, where there's betrayal and there's sex and violence. And I mean, that's what history is. It's a lot of people fighting about everything constantly, forever.
I think one of the biggest misconceptions about history, and I think something that, if you forgive me, is very troubling in the political landscape today.
I forgive you.
Thank you. It's people who assume that because people lived a long time ago, they were some like great geniuses automatically above, the basic fray of politics or human needs. And, you look back at the quote unquote great men of history, and they were petty assholes most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No, Yoda is a fucking moron.
Thank you,
he played smart, but I mean, he let things go to shit. Yoda was sort of the Chuck Schumer of his day, where it's just like, well, let's try to maintain the high ground, no immediate threat. Yeah. He let shit get way out of hand. Yoda
you can almost see the little glasses on the bridge of the nose.
Yes.
Right.
If anyone wants to draw Chuck Schumer as Yoda, we won't stop you.
Or
right,
but
we'll please keep it tasteful. We're not,
no smut.
Yeah. Well, there's ways of doing it that I think are offensive, right?
What if his penis is showing? What do you mean?
Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like I've always gotten into trouble anytime I've tried to map anything onto anything else culturally.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
Imagine this though. Yoda's in charge of the younglings, right?
Yeah.
They all get murdered, and his next move is to flee. He hops into a spaceship and goes and hides in a swamp.
Good one, now, Yoda.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine the conversations that must have been had when they're like, "Wait, all the younglings are dead. Where's Yoda? He's gone." Like. Don't you think there are some people who are convinced? I was like, Yoda might have killed those younglings.
You're making me realize, George, with all these schools reopening, I wouldn't be surprised if Betsy DeVos is looking at Swampfront properties right now.
Yoda is, if anyone wants to draw Betsy DeVos as Yoda, go ahead.
There we go.
Right. So maybe Chuck Schumer is Mace Windu.
I think so. Sure. Yeah, that won't be problematic.
No, is there.
It will be problematic in dozens of ways, literally.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really good.
He's like a Watto plus a Jar Jar. Okay.
This is some fan art we got from Ricky Barty. This is the comparison between George and Bill. We have C-3PO to Crow and then Palpatine to Brain Guy.
Wow.
Yeah. Right.
And then there was some more. Hang on one second.
Pretty close.
It's this one. I believe is that Torgo dressed as Indiana Jones?
I would have to say.
That's great. And then Watto, there you are.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Puma Man was one of our movies. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll take it.
Thank you for that. Whoever did that.
Pretty solid spoofs. How did you feel
Solid
getting
spoofs, not smutty. Just
Bill, how did you
good family fun?
Bill, how did you feel getting your stuff spoofed just now?
It was rough going for a minute, but then I took a deep breath and I just controlled my ego. I've been watching Eckhart Tolle videos, so I'm feeling good.
It's just some art. You should really just relax, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. Now, Bill, I watched last night to prep for this. I watched the RiffTrax Mystery Science Theater reunion.
Yes.
It came out. How was that? Was that fun? Did you have a good time seeing everybody?
It was an absolute nightmare of egos and lawsuits.
Sure.
No, it was really great. And it feels about 20 lifetimes ago now, but so does February.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
No, it was great. It was great getting the band back together and just hanging out in Nashville for a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And doing some spoofs.
Now, Bill, how does it feel? Because there was a time, and some of our viewers are young enough that they won't remember this, but I feel it's something they should know and they should hold on to, which was that there was a time when the internet was mostly MST3K. That was like one third of the internet. There was like a little bit of army stuff, infrastructure.
Yeah.
And there was some X-Files stuff. But a lot of early internet was just MST3K before there was anything else.
Yeah, a long time ago, if I might, George.
Wow.
There was. I just found that and I dovetailed it right in. It is weird. Our timing was very lucky, I think, because word got around about a very little cable access show originally, and then a kind of a minor cable show. And the nerds went to bat for us.
Oh, were nerds different back then?
George, no.
Wow.
There's still good nerds and bad nerds, just like always.
Yeah, except a lot of them are now international magnates of the Bill Gates variety.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I guess they were back then too, but they weren't quite as, I don't know. Silicon Valley was not really a thing.
Bill, I hate to tell you, I guarantee you Ted Cruz has chuckled along to some MST3Ks.
Oh, man, that makes me feel so dirty.
You've brought him pleasure, and he's quoted it back to people in his family.
Oh, God, you're so right about that, and I
guarantee you that he has done MST3K bits to people who have not seen the episodes. He's done them incorrectly with the wrong cadence and the wrong timing.
I'm starting to sweat, George, please. This feels really true.
Oh.
It's not good.
Yeah.
At the time, what we knew when we were doing the show is that Al Gore was a fan. That's about all we knew.
Wow.
Yeah. So
cool.
we even did a musical number for him that was never acknowledged.
Wow. Well, let's see. Everybody tweeted Al Gore. Let's see if we can get him to acknowledge it tonight.
I don't mean to brag, Bill, but one of the girls on Dance Moms did an Instagram live in which on her car it was showing that she was listening to an episode of Noble Blood.
That's not nothing, Dana.
Not the same.
Dana,
wow, come on. It's a lot more current.
Yeah.
I'm not telling tales. You're not telling tales from the 90s when you were, a wee kid, or even not even. I don't know.
I was born in
Other people are.
Dana, when were you born?
1993.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm younger. I was rendered in 1997. I'm the youngest in the chat.
Yeah. Although I had thought of you a long time before that, but we're not counting that though.
No.
You
George,
were just
what year did you think about Watto? Like, what was the first time where you were like, I should make this guy?
Probably like 76 when I was started writing it. I was like,
oh wow.
You tried to fit him into the original trilogy.
I knew there wasn't a place for him in the first trilogy. I'm like, we need to hold off on him.
Too much star power.
You wanted
overwhelm everything else.
You didn't want to blow your wad.
I didn't want to
blow your Watto.
Blow my Watto.
Just say it. Yeah, get it over with.
Do you want to know? You want to see what I found this week?
Yeah.
That I was taking a trip down memory lane on the internet, looking at the glory days on eBay. I forgot that this existed, George. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Do you remember this?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Watto being on the cover of TV Guide.
What?
Yeah.
Were you taking over for Dick Cavett that week or something?
I think there must have been. I had a hot week or two there where people really thought I was like Devin Sawa. They were like, maybe this guy's a leading man.
Wait,
Let's test him out.
What is the small text at the bottom underneath you, Watto?
Don't make me say it.
No,
Please
say it, Watto.
Number 3 in a 4-part collector set this week.
Oh. Wow.
Only a fourth of the people got the Watto cover.
I like that it's an action shot. You're flying, I think.
Yeah.
Watto's
Very dynamic.
Watto.
Yeah.
Fabulous creatures.
Okay. So who would have been before you? Probably Yoda.
No, I think
Jar Jar.
I can tell you who they are. Ready?
Yeah.
4 covers. Jar Jar, Jabba, Watto, Boss Nass. 4 main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see the thing, well, first of all, you were Watto, you were never afraid to be part of an ensemble.
I'm a part of the company. You know what I'm saying? I'm a character actor. That's the leading man label. It never fit me comfortably. They were saying maybe you're the guy, and I said no. I want to be part of the unit.
Let me tell you something and this is unusual for a CGI character.
Yeah.
Watto would render himself for the other actors' coverage.
Yeah. I would
even if it was a shot of Liam, and Watto could have easily said, "No, just talk to a ping pong ball." But Watto would render fully so that he could give back in the scene.
I would go, "Hey, move the mouse around. Don't let the computer go on to screensaver mode. I want to be off camera for this.
Yeah, let
me do the off camera lines."
You're a trooper, man. That is real circus ethic.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who could have been on TV Guide that week. I mean, Veronica's Closet could have been on, or Touched by an Angel. Like, there were a lot of big shows. ER could have been on.
I'm curious if there's like a ratings chart in here. If I could see what the top show was this week.
Yeah. Back then, what else was there? Becker, Ally McBeal. This was the
Small Wonder, little
Spin City, where Michael Boatman.
Arliss.
Yeah,
could have been Arliss.
Could have been Arliss. You could have beaten out our friend Bobby Wool for the cover that week, Watto. That was before we were friends.
Loads to do that.
That cover does remind me of like the famous Entertainment Weekly cover, like the lowest selling cover in history when it was the dog from Frasier.
Hey,
his name's Eddie. Show him some.
Eddie.
Sorry.
Moose was the actor's name, right?
Yeah, Moose was. Yeah.
Yeah, put some respect on Moose's name.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's not Eddie.
I'm sorry.
He's Moose.
Moose made the cover of Entertainment Weekly, and it sold the fewest copies.
Oh, no. People hate dogs.
He's hot. He's sexy. He's purebred.
Wow.
That doesn't seem right. It feels like that would be a big seller.
Yeah.
I know. Well, that was before the dog rates Twitter feed and Empire.
Hold on. Now let's see what else is up there. Hey, look! Can you spell MST3K?
Whoa!
Wow!
Whoa!
Wow!
Can you put us on? Can you put us on the cover and get some more issues sold?
Yeah, that was the issue.
Wow!
We need the dog.
I am at an imperfect world. What would that have been in reference to back then?
A Perfect World.
The Kevin Costner
Cosby spinoff.
Oh, a different world.
Oh, sorry.
Perfect World was the Kevin Costner film that I believe Clint Eastwood directed.
Okay, yeah.
But I wonder if that CD gift guide was also fighting to get on the cover. I wonder if it was one of those things where MST3K and the CD gift guide were fighting and they ended up just giving it to Moose.
It could be. Yeah.
Well, Moose was hot at the time. I mean,
he was on the Moose. Yeah.
99.
He didn't move magazines, but he's hot.
99 is
Now-
kind of. Oh wait. Oh, that might have been earlier. I was thinking in my head that it came out at the same time as the TV Guide.
Oh, Patrick, why would
I'm
it come out the same time as
Patrick.
Patrick?
Come on, Patrick.
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 Oh, we were having having fun.
In fairness, Frasier was the number 3 show that year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
So-
going to move my camera because I don't think I'll ever get it back. But right behind me in my eye line, I have a giant poster that says, "What if Frasier joined the Fantastic Four?" And then below is Frasier saying, "Watch out, evil! I'm listening."
I believe
Brandon Byrne. That's a Brandon Byrne,
Brandon
right?
Byrne.
Friend of the
Friend of
show.
the show.
Friend of the show.
Tweet.
Yes, yes.
Guys, this is gonna date me terribly, but I did meet Moose in person once.
Tell
At the party
everything.
for that issue of Entertainment Weekly?
I came after him for elbowing us off the cover of TV Guide. No, I did. A friend of mine was a writer producer on Frasier, so I went to the set there a couple of times, and I got to play with Moose. He didn't have a great personality. He's a very, very trained dog,
Right.
and he saw quickly that I had nothing to offer him that he was used to. So it was just like, all right.
He was kind of like Tom Cruise. It's like all business, constant on mode politician.
Yeah.
Exactly. Tom Cruise, a little bigger, and you
Right.
got Moose.
But Moose does send you a coconut cake every Christmas.
Like very nice, but you're like, do I really know him? Have I
Yeah.
ever had a real conversation? with him?
Opaque behind the eyes.
Right.
Right.
I do want to say, there's an article here recapping the cover story on Moose, and everyone. John Mahoney says he's probably the most disciplined cast member. Jane Leave says he's amazing. The things he can do. They do not interview Kelsey Grammer, but Kelsey Grammer did say to Tom Shales, "I do draw the line when someone says, oh, he's such a good little actor.'" Kelsey
Wow.
Grammer, not a fan.
Kelsey Grammer draws the line.
Draws the line.
Sounds funny, but if you think about it, he was just being a dick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dog can take praise. It's okay. Say nice things about the dog. It's
Yeah.
gonna go to his head.
Yeah. They let you sing over the closing credits. Give the dog a bone.
I now want to find it, but I have unquestionably read even more
There
damning
is more.
comments.
I was trying to find it and I couldn't.
Patrick, spill all the tea. Let's do a deep dive
All right.
on this.
Keep
Do
talking.
it.
Keep talking,
Yeah.
and I'll bring it up.
Ungracious things that Kelsey Grammer has said about Moose. Let's get it all out there.
I mean,
tonight.
Frasier was a show. It obviously was like living in the shadow of Cheers. People were questioning if it was going to be a tacky spinoff. And the first season, Eddie was unquestionably the thing that popped first. And
Right.
everyone was talking about Eddie, and Kelsey would just spare no opportunity to go after Eddie in the press. He was
Right.
stirring shit. It was like Shannon Doherty shit.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm doing the TV Guide crossword puzzle now. So
Oh,
if
good.
anyone has an idea, 51 across, it's an out-of-this-world character.
How many letters? Watto?
Four.
Is it Watto?
I wish. 4.
That's 5.
It's
Oh.
out of this world, but out of this world is italicized, like it's a title. Can you think of what that would be?
Mark. No?
That might. That,
Might be.
I'm going to lightly.
I would. Yeah.
Tread
Someone
lightly.
Do
Someone
not commit to that.
people in the comments are saying Yoda, Watto.
Yeah. I see someone
Out
saying
of-
crow.
Crow.
But look at it's where is it here? It's out of this world is italicized, like it's a title.
Oh, all right.
Out of this. Oh, I don't know what that is.
That's
Right.
what's confusing.
I mean,
What
3PO and R2 also fit there because they're 4 digits. You're not using the hyphen.
You need the hyphen though. I wonder if that.
You don't need the hyphen. The hyphen was always a luxury. I remember saying we don't need this, but I want it.
Hey, Watto, Out of This World was a sitcom from 1987 to 1991, and Maureen Flanagan played Evie, E-V-I-E.
Oh, that's a crossword answer right there.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
Great job just coming up with that knowledge off the top of your head, Patrick. That's how
Maureen
crossword
Flanagan,
puzzles are
Patrick.
done.
Big Maureen Flanagan head up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Dana, I'd love
80s TV mentat there.
Yes. Yes.
Dana, I'd love to talk about She-Hulk.
Yeah, I can't say much, but let's talk.
Okay, well, let's say whatever you can say, and whatever you can't say, let's not say that.
Yeah, like how does it end? Last scene, last episode.
I will say it was a really, really great experience writing in that room. The showrunner is Jessica Gao. She was just like a dream and just a creative, wonderful person. It is within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so the television show exists within the world of all the characters you've seen in the films.
Right.
All of the television shows are consistent with that universe.
Right.
They just cast the amazing Tatiana Maslany, which I think she's gonna smash it.
Fantastic.
That was great.
I had nothing to do with any of that because I wrote on it, and then after 20 weeks, the writing room ended. But yeah, I'm really excited for the show on Disney Plus whenever quarantine lets them film.
Oh well, Dana. People in the chat are asking for Yusong gossip.
Oh my God! People know Yusong. Yusong is the best.
We love Yusong.
Yusong did nothing wrong.
Yusong did nothing wrong. He is the most wonderful, kindest human being in the world. He would do a Starbucks run in the afternoon, and he was endlessly polite. At one point, Jessica Gao brought in an Iberian ham. I think she bought it at Costco. Might not have been Iberian. Iberian's the expensive one. But she set it on poor Yusong's desk. And at some points, Yusong would just have to either try to carve and then give them slices to people or just wait while other people carved this ham right on his desk for like the last 6 weeks of the room.
Wow.
It's good to have a desk ham.
Room ham. Yeah, we had the room ham. It was so if someone said a good idea, Jessica could throw them a piece of ham. Like Eddie, we were being trained like Moose the dog.
Bill, are there any movies that you guys have tried to riff on, but you're like, can't do it?
No, usually by the time we get to that point, we know that it's not great.
No.
But we have provided commentary on some good movies.
Mhm.
Of course, all of George's movies,
Right.
but also
You didn't do all of them.
what's that?
You didn't do all of them.
No, you're correct. Sorry,
You didn't do Strange Magic.
Didn't do
No,
Strange Magic.
Didn't do
Never got
Red Tails.
great.
Never did Red Tails.
I wanted to do Red Tails, but nobody else would do it.
Wow,
Never chased her tail.
I relate to that. I wanted to do Red Tails and nobody wanted to do it.
But we've done Casablanca and a couple of other movies just to it's really a weird point to make, to show that it's like about comedy and not about taking a movie to task, which I don't really have much interest in. I mean,
Here's the
sometimes I
question.
do, but yeah.
I'm genuinely curious about this, Bill, and
Yes,
I apologize
Watto.
if this is a hacky question you get all the time. But because you have riffed on good movies, and there are bad movies that you haven't riffed on, are there commonalities you have found in terms of what movies are best for riffing and what movies make it hardest to riff on? Because it's not just quality, clearly.
Yeah. Usually earnestness is good. Like if something is trying to be funny, even if it fails miserably, if we try to add a layer of funny on top of it, it really comes off as churlish and like even more than usual. Like don't listen to them trying to be funny, listen to us. And it's often a variation on like, oh, that joke failed. I've wanted to do the one movie that I actually wrote, and I'm confessing up to it here.
We were going to get to it, Dave.
Yeah, I have a feeling you were.
What's that peeking out of
Was
my
that-
ear?
Meet Dave, the
Meet
Eddie
Dave.
Murphy movie that I wrote. It's kind of a stinker.
Hey.
I wanted to do it.
Bill, no, we will not
Hell
have that.
no.
Talk. No.
Well, I know you've been burned, but
I'm part
get
of the Eddie Murphy cinematic comedy universe. So we're part of a shared brotherhood.
Yeah.
'Cause I was in Beverly Hills Cop 3. I played the man waiting in line who Axel Foley cuts in front of. I say, hey,
I didn't know that.
yeah. I brought the trilogy to a close.
Buddy.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Tell me about your experience. There I am. Hey.
Look at you.
Oh boy.
Young, trim, Porky Pig shirt.
I don't. Yeah.
Who's that lady, George?
Who's that lady?
Yeah.
Sexy lady. Do you know?
You don't know, George?
I don't remember. I was so deep in character.
I privately remember.
I was so deep in character when I played that role that I just know her as my lady friend.
Yeah.
He knows her character name. He knows her backstory. He never met the actress.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine. George, what's her character's name?
Lady friend.
And what's your backstory, George?
I met her. We're gonna date.
Oh, wow.
See?
I don't need to know more than that.
Yeah.
It's like how Will Smith says, I never met Jared Leto. I only met the Joker.
Yeah. But it was very, I want to know what your experience was from start to finish. I'm fascinated. So you said, I'm assuming you said everything you wanted to say in that movie, because it's taken me quite a few movies to get but I'm fascinated by filmmakers, who they make a movie and then they're like, that's it. That's that. I let that speak for me.
You're like Charles Lawton. You did the one and you walked away. Yeah.
I did my Night of the Hunter. It was Eddie Murphy with a giant head.
Yes. Poking out.
A sci-fi comedy, I'm down. I'm there for it. And if it's a little weird, if it's a little off, even better.
Yeah. Well, that was the idea. It got a little. Our producers were the guys who did Elf,
right?
And oh wow,
that looks great.
It looks really good.
It really looks good.
That's pretty great.
Not racist at all. That looks great.
It's fine.
Yep.
That's really good.
They threaded the needle. Speaking of not offensive, number one down on the TV guide crossword is what a merchant does. But it's only 4 letters, so I can't fit in own slaves. I'm not sure. I tried haggle as well, but neither of those are fitting. So I don't know what they're getting at here.
Sorry, Bill. Continue. I'm sorry to bring
that's all right. I'm trying to figure out the clue now.
I know, right?
Sale?
Sell? Yeah.
Oh, I think it did. I think
it's too hard on it, a lot of course.
I was just thinking, what?
So it's really low hanging fruit like that, and a very obscure '80s TV references.
Exactly. Tell us about Meet Dave, though. You had the same producers as Elf.
As Elf, and I think they wanted to recapture the magic, and so they started to try to make it into a kids movie.
Great instinct.
No, I know, theoretically, but then it didn't really split the difference between that and our original edgier screenplay, which I'm not saying was a great work of art, but I think it was funnier. And at some point, Eddie Murphy got attached to it, and he was great. He really tried to make it work. I mean, it was dopey and arguably not a great idea, but he really he was not the problem.
Yeah. I mean, that movie also that movie does have a murderer's comedy lineup where it's
there's Ed Helms and Judah Freelander,
but
Gabrielle Union,
Kevin Hart, Mike O'Malley, Brian
Kevin
Husky.
Hart, right?
I think isn't Paul Scheer you can
cut out of it? He was cut out.
Very
friend of the show Jim Turner.
Friend of the show Brian Husky. Friend of the show Brian Husky. We've had a lot of the cast of Meet Dave on this show over the past few months.
We might have to do a Meet Dave reunion. We're getting close to the full set. And is Eddie still booked for next week for the after show, or should I not mention that yet?
No, you don't mention it.
Oh, if you mention it, that might mean he might get skittish, and that might.
Right. Right. That's why the Oscars, right? He was on board until they said he was hosting, and then he was out of there.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
So how were you on set for a lot of it? How does that feel?
Not a lot of it. I came out a couple of times. It was a little boring. I mean, there wasn't a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun and it was thrilling and all that. But I was also kind of aware that the script had gotten away from us and it was not really much we could do about it at that point. So it's just please, please pave over the bad parts.
I'm curious, Bill. Do you have good examples of differences between what you guys originally wrote and the final film?
Honestly, most of it has to do with the kid stuff because I think they tried to make it. The naked cowboy was in it.
Wow, that's a get.
He was actually in just about every New York filmed movie for about 10 or 15 years.
Right. Also, New York is kind of a character in the film.
I'd like to think so.
Should have been above the title.
It was a love letter to New York itself in its way.
Wonderful.
No, the only the weirdest part of the experience to me was that at one point we got word that it was going to be reset in Providence, Rhode Island, because they had a deal with the city and the community there. So we had to quickly scramble and reset the whole thing in Providence. And then about 3 weeks after we did that draft, they said, it's off. Just go back to the other draft.
What a cruel prank. What a prank they played on you. Was George Clooney producing this film?
Didn't even get to go to Providence. It was all Wikipedia.
Oh no.
Yeah. Miserable, grubby rewrite, to be sure.
That's why you got to stick to like small, personal, independent films like George has done. You know? Like something like Attack of the Clones. That's like a very personal, little independent.
Little family story.
Just pay for it yourself, make it yourself, answer to no one.
It's so much easier.
I'm trying, man.
Yeah, film it in a parking lot. Throw up some green screens. Film it in a parking lot.
Yeah. Tommy Wiseau, this bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or also, all of the Marvel movies are now essentially shot the same way that The Room was. So it's no different. Everything's shot in a parking lot.
Yeah.
Now there's some trivia on IMDb that I want to confirm whether or not it's true, because I don't know whether it's true. Is it true that you had originally pitched this as a web series?
No.
I mean, that's what IMDb is saying in the trivia series. It says Bill Corbett originally pitched this idea to sci-fi.com as a possible web series.
Or I don't know. I might have said that in a drugged up stupor at one point and during an interview, but
do you want people to amend the trivia to reflect that?
Yeah. Please put in drugged up stupor.
It also says that the studio put a big makeshift Eddie Murphy head on a trailer and sent it around to tour the country.
That is true. You can Google it. It's appalling and weird. But every now, like just about once a week, somebody sends that to me and goes, you did this.
How do you respond? I would respond by saying, yeah, I did this.
Yeah.
You just wait. Eventually,
I wanted that to happen, and it happened. Can you say that? Yeah. It went all around the country. It's hideous.
Who owns that car now?
Yeah, where is it?
Joe Piscopo.
That makes about as much as anything. It was a trailer. If you look from the side, it was actually just a little U-Haul hitch.
I would truly give anything to see that car pull up and Joe Piscopo get out of it.
Guys,
and pay the meter.
Yeah.
Just doing curls the whole time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. Pretty weird.
I mean, even just the van with the painted face is kind of intense.
Yeah.
I would love if Eddie Murphy was driving the head, and then if that was his day-to-day drive to Target.
Life imitates art.
Right.
You don't have to pay me for this movie. The one thing I want.
I want my head as a vehicle.
Imagine Eddie Murphy
and starts giving traffic signals.
Or drives down by the docks to give people a ride just to be helpful.
Yeah.
He just wants to be helpful.
He just wanted to give people a ride. He was driving down by the docks. He wanted to give people a ride.
Get in my head. Let's go. Where are you going?
Now, Dana, we're talking about writing movies, and you just finished a screenplay. You just wrote a screenplay.
For which several, yeah.
Oh, well, I was talking about the biopic that you just wrote.
Oh, well, that one was for no one.
But I'm saying, now's your time.
Spec script.
The spec script. You got to pitch it here. We have so much industry watching. Now is the time, Dana.
I know.
Yeah.
George could just write a check if he wanted to.
I could.
That's the goal. Yeah, I wrote a spec script about my favorite poet. Does that count? Lyricist, Howard Ashman, who created. Right. Yeah, and then did Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast. Pitched Aladdin. That was his, but he died of AIDS when he was 40 years old. And he was making Beauty and the Beast, and none of his collaborators or coworkers except Alan Menken knew that he was sick at the time.
Yeah.
Little Shop of Horrors. George and I sang Suddenly Seymour to each other for charity a couple of weeks back.
I wish I watched that. That would have been lovely. But I want to be on the record and say I have written things for people that have paid me also. So I'm not just like I have to afford these pajamas.
The pajama budget alone needs
just to afford the fringe at the end of those sleeves. That's not cheap.
You need a 3-picture deal for those sleeves.
Well, that's fantastic. And now, when you write a biopic like that, on spec, how do you account for? Because I know sometimes people do a biopic about someone who creates music, real music, and then they make the movie and they can't play any of the music in the movie.
Yeah.
Are you writing with the assumption that you will or won't be able to use the music in the movie?
Under the assumption, this is a spec script, so under the assumption that I have rights to the storyboard animation, all of the in the Beast songs, everything. Even I use like Marvin. He wrote this musical with Marvin Hamlish called Smile that is a lost musical because they never recorded a cast album for it. I'm writing with the assumption that somehow we can get some of those songs.
Oh, that's great.
George, you should tell them, because I feel like Bill and Dana will both appreciate hearing about your museum.
Oh, have you guys? Are you aware of the Lucas Museum?
I've heard tales.
You're the first person who's heard tales of it. Most people say no. That's really a good sign. That means we're getting the buzz. We're building the buzz.
Well,
let's bring up.
Now, as you know, our mutual friend, she worked on Star Tours and did it at Skywalker Ranch. Yeah,
that's where you do it. I have a museum that's opening up in LA. That's what it's called.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Should open up in next year or two, hopefully, depending on, obviously the timeline's been a little bit shifted because of the pandemic, but it's basically going to be a place where it's the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. And basically it's about art that tells stories. So that's something that we can all relate to because we're storytellers. And we're wired for that, but it's got a lot of my Norman Rockwell collection is going to be there. Put some Charles Schultz, I don't know, some of my Flash Gordon posters, all kinds of stuff, you know.
Now, can I do a quick exercise, if you don't mind, George?
Absolutely.
Put back up the image of the museum.
Sure.
Ooh.
And Bill and Dana, like a Rorschach test, I want you to tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh no! You're riff-traxing my museum.
Bill's the sneaker.
It's a footprint. It's a sneaker.
I'm gonna say either hoverboard or Nuva-ring.
Okay.
Right.
We just like collecting people's initials thoughts.
You like
collecting. What else have you heard?
Vibrator, penis, and vagina.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you guys are classier than that.
Yeah,
you don't immediately go for the filthy joke. Those were very those are good. That I can tell it's Vin Week, but it's also a little bit of a writer's symposium because we've all written things. I'm a writer.
We've written stuff.
Storyteller. I'm a storyteller first.
Absolutely.
I filled in half of the crossword puzzle now.
That's writing.
George, I don't know if you'll be threatened by this, but this is a true story. When I was in my capacity as a journalist with Entertainment Weekly, I went to James Cameron's private museum, his warehouse in his offices, where he has a museum just in his offices of all like the effects from his movies.
That's cool. I like James. Jim's great. Was it a bunch of like scuba gear too? I bet it's a bunch of like scuba diving gear.
No,
you have to take a bathysphere to actually get in there.
Yeah.
His museum's at the bottom of the ocean.
In the Mariana Trench.
Yeah, he basically like the last scene of The Abyss. He was like, "Hey, maybe this will be where I'll put my museum, right down here." You have to throw up water for about a minute and a half before you can see any of the stuff.
I heard you also have to spend 6 years in an emotionally distant marriage with Jim in order to be allowed into the museum. Is that the joke you were going to make, Dana?
Something that a little similar. Yeah, I was going to make a very mean Catherine Bigelow joke.
Was he there? Did you get to meet him, Dana?
Yeah, he was very friendly actually, but maybe because we were 8 journalists.
Sure.
Yeah.
What were you there covering?
He let us all take pictures with the thing from Aliens, the giant
power loader.
It's power loader. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Get away from her, you bitch.
George, watch your mouth.
That's what Ripley says, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but it sounds very different coming out of your mouth.
Well, that's why they didn't cast me in that part. Would have been a very different movie if at the end of Alien I changed into my underwear and got into a little pod with my cat. I want to go on record and say that they probably wouldn't have made the later films. I think if I had starred as Ripley, I think it would have been one and done. It would have been like a Meet Dave. It would have been like, we're ending the franchise now.
And I want to go on record as saying I would fucking love some fan art of that.
It would have been an odd choice.
Careful what you wish for.
No, I want this.
Yeah, I want
the first Alien movie, so well received. Everyone loves Sigourney in it. For James Cameron to come in and go, I'm recasting the role of Ellen Ripley with filmmaker George Lucas.
Right.
After seeing what he did with Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes. That's right. Well,
at the end.
Now, at that point, though, Sigourney was an unknown, relatively, and I think people would have been like, "Oh, he's casting a non-actor, a director, a writer-director, an Oscar nominee." Mm-hmm. I think people would have been intrigued because Ripley is kind of a gender-neutral name, I think, for that time.
Second film, George.
What?
We're talking the second movie.
Oh, in the second one,
Alien got made.
James Cameron made the second one, so he would have been recasting you after she had already
You would be playing Sigourney.
Yeah, but my assumption is that they'd special edition her out of it, and they'd have to make it make sense. Sigourney in the first
That's your answer to everything.
We're basically Sigourney in Alien would have been like that Scottish guy standing in for Jabba,
right?
And then they just put me in front of her in all of the scenes in Alien.
It would have been a rough draft, and the alien would have stepped on your tail, and you would have gone, oh.
Now, George, the reason why I brought up the museum is I want to hear our guest's take on a few objects that will be in the museum.
Right.
Can you explain them really quick?
A lot of things are going to be in the museum. I just got, this isn't what Patrick's going to buy. I just got my latest copy of Peanuts Every Sunday from Fantagraphics. There's going to be a lot of Charles Schultz in the museum. But there's also me and my buddy Steve. We have the biggest collection of we collect Norman Rockwell paintings, and so I'm going to put a ton of my paintings that I own are going to be in this museum. All the kind of like, look at this, Norman Rockwell. Look at that.
Classic Norman Rockwell.
And that's everyone's favorite one, George.
Classic Norman Rockwell.
Screaming children at the door.
Yeah, when you think of
Norman Rockwell.
Wow.
Maggie Smith.
Classic Norman Rockwell. Get ready. Here comes another Rockwell.
Yeah, we know that one.
Boom. You've been Rockwelled.
You've been Rockwelled. But some of the most the crown jewel of the collection will be a couple of paintings that were released as very popular commemorative collectible plates in the 1970s. Butter Boy and Butter Girl.
Now Watto's holding up this plate.
Oh, is that also a Butter Girl?
That's Butter Girl. Yeah.
So they were trying to make Butter Girl and Butter Boy happen, and it just never took off.
What are you talking about? You're what? It took off.
Oh, it
took off. Yeah, look at this. And Watto, you're holding back the thing that makes you the envy of everyone's eye.
It's because I have an embarrassing confession.
Oh no, you didn't break it. You broke it.
It was so expensive.
It was so expensive, Watto.
Oh, Watto.
Oh my God, you didn't deserve that, Watto.
There you go.
The first unlikable thing you've ever done, Watto.
Wow.
The first time Watto has ever been problematic.
Watto.
But thankfully, the most important part remains intact. Take off Butter Girl on the table and just leave it as what it is. Butter Dog.
Butter Dog. It did. I mean, let me say, it broke off the three cleanest pieces.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very easy to reassemble.
I have to say, it's a good edit.
It's a
you
good
know what I mean? Like, because Butter Dog is the key. We've got Butter Girl on the plates. We've got her on the trays. We've got her on the bronze.
Yeah, Butter Dog is the key.
Butter Dog is the key to the
Butter
figuring.
Dog is the Jar Jar of the Butter universe.
He's
Yes.
The Butterverse.
Yes.
So was Butter Dog an official character in the Butterverse, or?
Yeah, I never.
And if you believe in the ceramic sculptors, yes.
But Watto, when you ring that bell, it usually means something.
Yeah, what's it
Time
mean?
for butter.
Can you ring the bell again, Watto?
Hold on. Wait a second. Let me see. It's like the Polar Express. You can't
Oh, no.
hear the bell unless you believe. A butter merch update.
What do you have, Patrick?
Now we all have one.
Oh, hold on. Let me get mine. Hold on.
Go get yours. Now we all have one.
And Bill, I want you to look us in the eye and repeat that you think they were trying to make Butter Girl a thing. Do or do not. There is no try, Bill, because 3 men, 3 plates sounds like it worked.
It did work. I'm sorry, Butter Girl.
This is 2020. This is 2020. Hold it up, Patrick. This is what 2020. It's 3 grown men who have the bronze or copper. Is it copper?
I don't know.
Copper. Yeah, it's pure copper. It's pure copper.
Is Butter Girl a Norman Rockwell thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all Norman.
I don't know. Like it's
Yeah.
right there. But Watto, hang on.
What?
I don't need you to ring that bell again.
What?
What?
You might have to ring that bell again
This
for
is
me. Watto.
unprecedented.
This
What
is
did you
unprecedented.
say?
This is
That one's
Oh,
scary.
boy.
I don't like
Butter Girl mania sweeping the nation.
What is that? Is that a pie?
no, it is another plate that they made.
that one's
Part of the
scary.
Norman Rockwell Collectors Club.
Wow.
Wow, that's her official name.
I mean,
It's also 3D. Like it's
embossed. It's beveled, right?
yeah.
Can you describe what she's doing there? She seems to have a plate sort of vertically.
I believe she's dumping butter onto another piece of toast. But the butter
That's a weird.
But the butter is not melted at all, and it's just
That's some weird storyboarding.
like it's weirder on this one.
It's weird storytelling. It's classic storytelling.
Look how much butter she's putting on that bread.
She doesn't spread it. She puts 2 blocks of it on the bottom half of a slice.
And then she
Maybe
eats
they
the dry bread, and then it's just like delay of gratification until she gets to that big
Ugh.
At least
block
with
of
Butter
butter.
Boy, like he spreads it.
Well, boys know how to use tools. Boys are smarter than girls.
That's
Wow.
I mean, the search term Butter Norman Rockwell never leaves my eBay search engine, and yet I'm jealous. Although I have to say, Patrick,
yeah.
bear in mind that butter boy and butter girl plate that are there, those are mine. You rescued those from the UCB theater. So if you ever want to truly own your own, you're gonna have to. You're gonna want to.
Well, I don't
Patrick.
want to make a joke that's redundant, but with all the Norman Rockwells that you're donating to the museum, you've obviously comedic genius. You are getting your rocks off.
I am. Oh, come see George Lucas get his rocks off at the Lucas Museum.
Yes.
He'll get them off, and he'll get them off well.
Yeah.
Now,
George.
Dana, we've already brought this up. You guys are both writers. If you had to pitch a Butter Boy, Butter Girl movie series, what would be your take on it?
Gritty.
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 The butter would be gritty.
I
Yeah.
would go entirely CGI.
Oh,
If
Yeah.
they could be
we don't
characters
have-
that
yeah.
are racist portrayals of people of Asian descent,
I'm listening. I'm
I
listening.
think that would be perfect for George Lucas. If you had
Yeah.
you turned Butter Boy and Butter Girl into if you map Asian nations onto them.
Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing.
Luke Conway's not working much these days, right? You could give him a call.
I could always. Those files are still in the system. I do think CGI makes more sense because then you don't have to worry about the butter either melting or being so cold that it's hard to spread.
Like Butter Girls.
Yeah.
Giant
Um,
blocks of butter.
I also want to quickly hop in and read the back of this copper butter plate because I don't think we've ever read it.
I've read it, but I haven't read it aloud.
This limited edition collector's plate is minted in pure copper and portrays one of Rockwell's most popular and well-known paintings.
Eat it, kid and cop.
And this was
Eat it, Thanksgiving family.
And this was strictly limited to a 90-day minting period
George,
by
George.
the Continental Mint.
George, look
what?
at this. Mine is only a 30-day
30 day?
period.
Oh yeah, it does say 30.
Oh,
It does
okay.
say 30.
Wait a second. Mine says 30-minute minting.
Now this is 1979. So your favorite, Bill, Empire's in the works when this is being. These probably came hot out of the mint.
Two masterpieces being created at once.
It's hard. That's one of those things that's hard to imagine that while we were making Empire, they were making the copper edition of Butter Girl. What a time! What a time!
I believe the assembly line that C-3PO loses his head on.
Mhm.
That was it.
Oh.
If I remember correctly, for a Butter Girl plate.
Yeah.
R2D2 was rocketing over the plates, looking good. Like
Yeah.
man,
Ooh,
Wait.
yeah.
Wow.
can't wait to get me one of those.
And I imagine this probably is like
Yeah.
Norman's Empire because I bet he made Butterboy first.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
I don't want to dwell on this too much, but just think of it. So while they're making these copper editions of Butter
Yeah.
Girl, my mentor, my friend, Francis,
Mhm.
he's taking my idea for Apocalypse Now and making it into a movie. What a time to be alive. So much art, so many great things, so many masterpieces being made
Mhm.
all at once. What a time.
We got some more fan art.
Oh, I'd love to see it.
It's from John Cody.
This is so exciting.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love how they're keeping it classy.
That's really good.
It's really good.
I would frame that in my home.
This is really
With
good.
the with the kente cloth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Double, yeah.
Make sure that Chuck Schumer is seeing these. He might like these.
Yeah, let's forward them to
He
Chuck.
doesn't have anything else to do. So
Right. I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll inspire him to figure out a way to stall this whole mess that's happening with what's her face from the cult.
crazy Catholic lady.
Yeah.
George!
What?
George!
There I am. Why are you yelling at me, Watto? Why are you yelling at me, Watto?
Because
We
I
were
was excited for you to see this.
We were just talking about Newt Gunray, but we weren't even talking about this Newt. This
Newt?
little Newt.
That's a
Hey.
Ripley for you.
Can
Yeah.
we add Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters in that so we can have a real Newt Gunray?
That
Oh,
I don't mean this is embarrassing for me, but like you look really hot in that picture.
George.
Lucas.
I mean,
How's your moment, George?
I'm with
That was
Dana.
the-
You've
You
never
look
was-
looked
good,
better.
that was the decade I dated Linda Ronstadt.
I think
buddy.
that's-
Nice job.
Can,
Yeah,
can we back up the van for a second? George, what was the Dan Aykroyd gun ray joke?
Because he's Ray. Ray.
So you're saying it would have a Newt, a gun, and Ray?
Ray. Yeah. Specifically, Dan Aykroyd. I wasn't saying put Dr. Detroit in there. I was saying put Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters so you have a Ray in there. I mean, you could make it Star Wars, but I didn't do that movie, so I have as much of a connection to Ghostbusters as I do to Ray Skywalker. I didn't make those movies.
Okay.
Not everything has to be Star Wars, Watto. There's also Indiana. There's also Indiana Jones. There's Red Tails. There's Strange Magic. There's Captain EO. There's Howard the Duck. There's American
Ray
Graffiti. There's
Tails.
more American Graffiti. There's THX 1138.
Right.
It's Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. It's a big world, Watto. It's a big world.
Mr. Lucas, I do want to go on the record. I don't know if how long this will go. I want to say I liked Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Thank you. It's a great movie. I liked it too.
No, I saw it in a theater.
A lot of people liked it because it's
it's
the really fun.
Indiana Jones movie I ever saw.
oh yeah, that's
Uh-oh.
great.
Hang
I
on one
just
sec. Hey, Bill.
All my Blu-rays.
I was
Can you
afraid.
tell us-
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you thought of Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
It was the kindest, warmest movie ever. I don't know, George. I think I was with it for a long time until the refrigerator.
That's like 10 minutes in.
Yeah,
That's not a long time.
that's true.
Also, what's like? What's so wrong about the fridge thing? Everyone always rags on that. What's so bad about it? It's pretty fun, I think.
I think the fridge is fine. It's a movie. It's a film movie. It's a film movie.
Like-
It is a film movie.
The
and
best
like-
kind.
Let me ask you this. I bet you were on board when a Zeppelin full of people who just bought tickets to fly on a Zeppelin watched an employee of the Zeppelin throw a man out the window to his death.
Yes.
And then he says, no ticket. And their response isn't to apprehend this murderer, this dangerous maniac who works on the Zeppelin. It is for them to pull out their tickets and wave them. How is that any goofier?
What are
Any
you
less
referring
goofy?
to?
In Last Crusade, you saw Last Crusade, right? It's the one.
Yeah.
It's like Frasier with Nazis. It's the one where he moves in with his dad and dates the same Nazi that his dad dated.
Yeah,
And then the Nazi gets thankfully
that was
swallowed
pretty
up.
gross.
He gets Hitler. Yeah, he gets Hitler to sign his book, and then he gets this Nazi he was dating falls into the earth because not because she's a Nazi, just because she's a little too greedy. You like that movie?
What is the question, George?
You like that movie?
No,
You don't like Last Crusade?
not really.
What do you like, Bill?
Bill,
Like,
it doesn't
gener-
even have to be Lucas related. Just tell us what you like.
What do you like?
I already told you I like Empire Strike Back.
I'm saying not Lucas related. I'm saying anything.
Anything
I'm
you
just
like.
trying to get this over with. So I'm saying something he will like to hear.
I do like that.
What did you lose, George? Are you eating blueberries? What are you eating?
I'm eating blueberries because they're a diabetic superfood.
Okay.
When Dana said that she loved King of the Crystal
I
Skull.
didn't say loved. I said like.
Yeah, I don't remember
Well,
love.
then I spilled all my blueberries on the floor for nothing.
Well, things are very clean there at Skywalker Ranch. I'm sure
I
it's
want
not a
the
problem.
context to be that I was born in 1993. It was the first Indiana Jones movie I have ever seen.
So you would have been what? You'd have been 15, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I was 15 or 14, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
I saw it in a theater, and I thought it was rip roaring in your own words.
I mean,
It's fun.
I was like
It's
11
fun.
when I saw it. I thought it slapped.
It's a banger.
It's a banger.
Oh,
But George, you're done with Indiana Jones. You're all done.
I'm done.
What
I take my
about
ball.
Mutt?
I take my ball and go home.
What's gonna happen with Mutt? Give us.
Yeah.
That's a question, George.
Oh, I'd love to tell more Mutt stories. Oh, I pitched a show to Disney Plus called Mutt Tales.
Mutt Tails.
Ooh. And I think part of the problem is Shia LaBeouf is a little bit he's a wild man, he's unpredictable. But I think so is Mutt. He's a rebel without a cause. And I still think it could happen. I think Mutt never got the chance that Henry Jr. got to live out his saga. I mean, think about how remarkable he is. Think about how remarkable Mutt is. All right, he's a greaser. He's riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You put him in the jungle, and he'll just start swinging.
He's very
He'll swing on those
adaptable.
vines. Think of how remarkable that is. I know people got really mad when the Disney started making Star Wars movies, and they're like, "How did Rey get to be a Jedi or whatever?" But think about how remarkable Mutt was, that he was able to vine swing through the jungle with tiny monkeys, having had, and I mean this, like no experience at vine swinging prior to that. I was very clear. This is the first time thing for Mutt. He's never swung from vines before.
Do you remember what your screenplay said about that? Like when the moment that he discovers he can do it and he's really good at it?
Yeah, he realizes that he can swing on vines. He is frightened, but also growing in confidence as he proves to himself how capable he is. It's a triumphant moment.
It's the Mutt version of she's beautiful, but she doesn't know it. It's just like he can swing on vines, but he does not know it.
Yeah.
So
George,
just give us like the one sentence pitch for Mutt Tales. Like, what was it going to be? What was your this is the show?
And was it educational?
Yeah, it was educational AF. Yeah, we would be able to go through we'd be able to go through the 1960s. We get to see Mutt in the Summer of Love.
Whoa.
We
All
get
right.
to see
Ruff would love that.
Now you're
yeah.
maybe a little too much.
He grows his hair out.
Damn.
He gets drafted, fights in the Vietnam War.
Well, you're talking around the other thing, George.
What's the other thing?
Out of necessity, because of Shia, Mutt Williams would also now have a full chest tattoo.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a wild man.
He's a wild man.
Yeah.
Does Mutt age in these things, or is he an immortal?
Yeah, he ages. Mutt ages, and at a certain point, he gets a young woman pregnant. Sure. She has triplets.
Out of wedlock, George?
Yeah, out of wedlock.
What's her name, George? What's her name?
It's pretty scandalous.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dumbella.
Dumbella.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never meet her.
And what are the names of the kids, George?
Dewey, Hooey, and Kablooey. He has to leave. He has to leave because he gets
Dewey Williams, Hooey Williams, and Kablooey Williams.
Mutt Tails.
Ooh. He has to go off because he gets called back to Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
He leaves.
Happening a lot.
He leaves his three triplets.
You gotta come back. We need you back.
Mutt.
His vine swinging would come in so much handy there.
Yeah.
He was training. That's why they can't let go. And they say, well, you finished your tour of duty, but no one else can handle these mines, Mutt. Your country needs you to tackle these mines.
And then you can have him call back to like Gulf War I.
Yeah.
When he's got to swing on the vines of Kuwait because he's the only one who can do it.
Yeah.
You got it, Mutt. We need you back, buddy. We need you back. You got to come back.
Sand vines.
Does Mutt like sand, George?
Every character I've ever written hates sand.
Sure.
You ever hear one character enthuse about it?
No, I guess not.
You got a point.
Some hate it more than others, but
yeah.
Of course.
They're all thinking it.
Gets everywhere.
Yeah.
It's subtext throughout.
Wow. So would you have run the room on this, George? What was your role going to be?
I'd shoot second unit on it.
Sure.
But like with a lot of things, I'm involved, but I also then like pull back from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been sort of my mode of comfort for a lot of projects over the past few decades is like, I'm in charge. This is my thing, but you guys do it. All right. I'll come in. I'll supervise. I'll make sure it's cool.
That is living the dream.
Yeah.
Hey, Bill.
Yes, Watto.
4 across. Comedian Johnson.
How many letters?
A. 4 letters.
I know.
Start with A.
Go ahead. Patrick.
I think it's
Patrick.
Artie, right?
Oh, yeah. ARTE.
Oh, wow. Okay. There we go. That lines up perfectly.
Strange spelling of Artie, but yeah.
George, you're so distracted tonight.
What do you mean?
Are the blueberries like rolling all over the room now?
They're everywhere, and I need them. They help me process glucose.
George is famously diabetic.
Gloriously diabetic.
Oh, I love that. Oh, what a good rewrite. Was that a rewrite or were you riff tracking me?
That was a rewrite, buddy.
That's my fear tonight is that you're going to start riff tracking me and I won't realize
I always warn you. I'm like one of those guys who has to register his hands as lethal weapons because he knows karate.
Yeah.
Like if you're a purple belt in Taekwondo or something, you have to go to the FBI and tell them.
Yeah, like if one of my staff comes and brings me like a drink or something, you're going to do a voice like it's like they're saying something.
No, I won't do that without telling you first.
Wow.
Oh, buddy, look at that.
Wait, you're missing one, Watto. You're missing one.
What are you missing?
Home abbreviation. 12 across. The last 2 letters are ES. What's the first letter?
Why would you need to abbreviate home?
Oh, it's residence. RES. That's fucking dumb. That doesn't.
Oh man,
Get my cat back on camera.
Dana, the fringe is taking over the shot.
I know. I was trying.
It looks like you're drowning in fringe.
I'm trying to entice my cat back on screen, but he's a little shy.
Yeah.
Does your cat love fringe? Because that's the place to go.
I know. I thought you would want to play with it. Maybe no.
George, I feel like if you made that cat, you would put all that fringe on that cat.
Let's see. I have his treats, but he knows it's on camera, and
right.
He's just not a showbiz cat.
I can't pay scale. He's no moose.
Now, here's a question: if we all say his name 3 times, will he show up on camera?
Don't do it.
I don't think we need to say it 3 times because we're already at 2. We're already maxed out.
That's true. That's true. George, I should also say tonight, if you guys donate to the show, all of the proceeds are going to go to the National Bail Fund.
That's
So
right.
you can either click the donate support the show button, or you can go to this website and all the donations will go there.
Bad week for America.
Yeah.
Watto, how do you feel about the money going to the National Bail Fund?
I'm in favor because I hate cops.
Okay.
I think they're crooked. And they've stolen our valor. The Blue Lives Matter stuff I don't like because they're taking attention away from me and other blue CGI characters.
Right.
That's my big thing.
Nuke Gunray.
Now here's my little note, and I'm sorry to give a note to bring the noise.
You got to put him over so it goes across, so it's left to right.
Yeah, you got to put him on the other side.
You got to put him behind that little belt. Have him peeking out from behind that little belt. Good, because Ray famously in Ghostbusters, one of the ghosts removes his belt. Do you remember?
Let's talk about this, guys.
I love about this. So here's what's funny about that. Okay, that was originally a much longer scene, and they went slowing down the pace of the movie. It doesn't fit, and then someone
is this real, Watto?
100%. I don't know who it was. I want to believe it was Aykroyd. Refused to cut it out entirely. Was like, it has to be in there somewhere. So in its current form, it's part of the big montage the first time they play the Ghostbusters theme. You see them all sleeping, and then it goes like, doodle, doodle, doodle. And it's like a dream sequence. And you just get the one quick shot of the angel appearing, and then the belt coming undone, and his eyes getting crossed. So I like the idea that they wrote it, they shot it, they built that puppet. They were like, this is awful. Take it out of the movie. And Aykroyd was like, no! You can make it a dream sequence, but it has to be in there for at least 5 seconds. It has to be in there.
Well,
this is a good comment.
When a man crosses his eyes, that's the height of comedy. You weren't going to take out that comedic gold. Oh, guy going...
This is a good comment. Ema Coolit says, when I was a kid, I thought it was to relieve his belly.
I do remember when my kids were young and we thought we were remembered, like we were looking for movies for them and they seemed okay for that one. We thought I was not remembering it all, but I was like remembering, there's some scary stuff. Like the lady in the library might be a little scary for them. Totally forgot about the fellatio scene. And when we got to that, it's like, I think of something quick to explain this.
Oh,
it's really good.
They're just being silly.
Yeah, he's tickling her belly, tickling his belly.
Watto, 2 people. Dan Engler wants you to take off your fanny pack and relieve your belly, Watto. But also Blogthoven wants to know, do you know Slimer?
Do I know Slimer?
Yeah.
No, I know new Slimer. I know 2016 answered the call Slimer. The first Slimer was practical.
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I know the new Slimer and Lady Slimer.
Well, when are they have to give Slimer back to the fans eventually.
Look, it's a touchy subject, and I try not to bring it up with him, but he's worried.
There you go.
I want to point out. I'm trying to remember the backstory here. This is like the clue that it's part of some longer scene that was cut out. The fact that he's inexplicably wearing a captain's jacket.
Oh, wow.
What is that?
That's my point. It was part of some longer set piece.
Patrick, are we watching?
Sequence.
Are we watching TBS?
Because it's very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the comment.
So good.
Wow. Yeah, just a weird. Oh, George, we got the update on the new Gunray picture.
Oh, I thought we were getting the update on Al Gore.
There we go. No, I don't know if anyone's tweeted at Al Gore. If people want to tweet at Al Gore,
I like that we made him a tiny Ray. That's even better.
Oh, that's fun. That's
A
really
tiny
fun.
disembodied Ray.
Yeah.
I want to read this quickly. I'm sorry. The Dream Woman was actually part of a longer scene that took place in Fort Detmering. In this deleted scene, Ray and Winston arrive at the fort to investigate the haunting. The pair splits up and Ray falls asleep in the single officer's quarters, which is where the paranormal blowjob takes place. The idea behind the scene, direct quote from Harold Ramis, was to give Dan a love interest.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, that's dark.
To be a love interest.
Wow.
That movie, I think almost more than any other movie, really lucked out that there were good people working on that behind the scenes to like rein it in. Because that movie sounds like a mess.
It had the blessed presence of Rick Moranis in it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Star of commercials now.
And,
Star of Spaceballs.
Little
Yeah.
Shop of Horrors.
And Little
That's
Shop of
right.
Horrors.
It ties into. He touches us all. He's in everything.
What a guy.
What a great guy.
There's some weird sound going on right now.
There is. Yeah, you're.
But who's clicking? Who's that clicking?
Dana, is it your cat?
No one's around me. I promise. Cat's
Wow.
over there.
I don't know what it is. Could it be?
Bum, 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 bum,
Could it be
bum,
Ray's
bum.
girlfriend?
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
It's the Dream Woman?
I think it might be the Dream Woman.
Excuse me, his love interest.
His love
Sorry.
interest. She's an angel.
She's interested.
I don't know.
I hear that clicking though.
I
Here,
thought
I'm gonna. Here, let's do a test. Let's do a test. I'm gonna mute myself for a second.
Was it George?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, sound gone immediately.
All right, we'll just do the show without George.
Is it the sound of dropping
No, it's
blueberries?
not George.
What?
I'm gonna leave.
Shame on you. Shame on all of you. The way you kicked me out of my own show when the clicking was not me.
It was a coup.
It's not me, Wada.
Is it
We're
me?
taking you
I'll
out,
mute
buddy.
myself.
Water would take you out.
No, Dana, you gotta stay on.
This is exciting. This
This
is good. This is good television. Where's the click? Who's the clicker?
Detective stuff.
Is it Wada?
Is it Water?
No, it's not.
Let me mute.
All right.
Okay. Dana,
Was it?
let's
Yeah.
all talk. Let's all talk.
Hold on.
Nope, still here.
Still here.
Dana, we're
Yeah,
we're
Dana.
pulling you, Dana.
Is it
I hate-
Dana?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
I mean,
Okay, we're talking. There's no clicking.
well,
Dana, what? All about the clicks.
All
What am
of
I
it.
doing?
Clicks, Dana.
I'm so
What's-
sorry.
What's clicking in your apartment? Is it those? Are those? What are those things on the wall? Those 3 framed things.
Uh,
What are
they're
they?
not clicking.
Show us
We
that.
Show us them. What are they? Maybe they are clicking.
One is champagne. One
All right.
says press for champagne, and then one is just a creepy eyeball.
All right.
Dana, I can't say his name, but what is he doing right now?
He's like 4 feet away. He's off the bed.
What if?
Do it.
No, go ahead, Wada.
What's he doing?
He's licking himself, Watto.
That can be loud. That's all I want to say. That can be loud.
It's true.
What were you going to say, Napster?
No, I wasn't. Don't worry about it.
I'm so sorry. I don't know what the
No, Dana, it's great.
Dana, it's value. If anything, it's value added. It's added an air of mystery, of intrigue, to the show. You don't know what. Just be careful. I don't know what it could be that's clicking, but just make sure it's not something dangerous.
My phone has been in the same position this entire time.
Do you have an app running with a little clicky creature who's clicking? Like, just look at. Do you see it run across your screen every now and then, like a little creature that's clicking?
No, but that would be a fun app. I would pay 99 cents for that in the App Store.
Yeah.
It could be a sign from the universe that it has reached sundown in Los Angeles, and so
It could be a harbinger.
as a member of the Jewish faith, I probably should log off soon to go not celebrate, but be in the moment of Yom Kippur.
Right.
Well, can I share some important information with you before you log off, Dana?
Please.
According to Dan Aykroyd, I don't miss anything that he didn't use. The ghost in the fort, he calls it the seduction ghost. In paranormal research, that's a common thing. Ghosts doing sexual things to people. I have a friend who had 3 women visit him in a haunted house of Louisiana, and it was one of the greatest nights of his life. But in under 2 hours, you obviously can't have everything.
No.
So Aykroyd's defense of the blowjob ghost is accuracy.
I hope when they give Ghostbusters back to the fans that's part of the thing that they explore.
I would love it if it turns out the film is an origin story for the blowjob ghost.
The seduction ghost.
The love interest. Wow.
I love it. Yes.
Oh.
Because we know it looks like it's going to be about Egon's grandchildren, right?
Yeah.
The movie looks like. What if it turns out that they're the children of Egon and the ghost?
The seduction ghost.
Ooh, the seduction ghost.
It's what caused the Ghostbusters to break up. That Egon slept with Ray's very serious girlfriend, the seduction ghost.
Oh.
Bill, did you mute? Oh no, you were muted. I think, Bill.
Oh, I never unmuted. I've been just like throwing these little bon mots and gems.
We muted your RiffTrax.
I am now. I'm tired and I can't do it. But
oh no.
Yeah.
What's on your wall behind you, Bill?
Ooh.
You have frame things as well. You have twice as many frames.
It's a couple of plays I wrote over the years.
That's fun.
We started framing stuff and then I stopped.
Now those aren't the whole plays. Those are just posters for the plays,
yeah,
right?
just posters. Yep.
Right. Now I'm riff tracking you.
Yeah.
Pretty short.
I feel it. I feel it.
Pretty short plays. If you could frame the whole play and put it on the wall, or the type is too small. How does it feel now, Bill, that I've riff tracked all your plays?
Turnabout is fair play. So
it is indeed. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. It felt horrible. I don't like being cruel like that.
I feel pretty laid low, though. I mean, just
You know, George, I didn't mean it.
Go sit in your chair, George.
Right.
We're gonna put
Dana's trying to go. I think we should give her a dignified goodbye without talking about seduction ghosts.
Thank you so much, Bill. This was a genuine pleasure to meet you, and George, of course, an honor.
Really great to meet you, Dana.
Thank you, Dana. This was fun.
This is great.
There's George.
Good luck in all your cool stuff.
We make George go to his chair when he's being a bad boy, but I'm sure he would say thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am gonna go, but thank you so much. This is
Thank you,
Dana.
Bye.
See ya. Bill, what movies haven't you riffed on? Are you tired of talking about riffing about movies?
A little, here and there, I guess, because I don't think I have much interesting to say anymore. But then again, it is the thing I'm most known for, so it's fair.
Sure.
I'm just kind of boring when I answer these questions.
Are there any questions that you're fully tired of answering? Like, what is the question you get the most that you're like,
where do you find all those movies?
Yeah. We're not going to ask.
I'm not going to answer it.
We're not going to ask you. So.
Did Dana leave?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dana's gone.
There is no Dana, George. Only Zool.
Oh no, that's great.
Why didn't we say that? Oh boy. Oh well.
So the true story of seduction ghosts, George. Write a check.
We need it.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'm not sure you heard me.
The true story of it. Write a check. You said write a check.
You looked distracted there.
No. I can't believe I didn't just say goodbye to Dana.
We said what did we say, Watto? We said something to her. We were like, George, I'm sure would say.
George would say thank you for being here.
George wants you to to He doesn't like women.
You needed to cool down in your grumpy chair.
All right.
In your Sith chair.
She was the only one who was kind about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I don't hate it, George.
Oh wow! Lack of hatred. That's my goal when I make a movie.
I think the phrase rules.
What?
I think the fridge rules.
I think the fridge rules. I think everything else drools.
Yeah.
You should tell Bill about when you left the most recent movie, though, because I think Bill would actually appreciate this.
Well, I had some ideas for, different things we could do with Indiana Jones. And when we were working on Indy 5, it took me a long time to get Harrison and Steve to agree to Aliens for Crystal Skull, because I was very adamant that we needed to do something different. And so I had ideas for what it could be. At a certain point, I just got tired of fighting about it. And I was working on a show, and
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
No, I don't remember if it was at the Days of Robot Chicken or if we'd started working on Detours yet. But I came into the writer's room and I just said, you know what? I think I'm just going to take my ball and go home.
That's a true story.
That's a true story. I just got to the point where I was like, if they don't want to make the Indiana Jones movies that I want to make, then they can do what they want.
What was your next move going to be, George, if you don't mind me asking?
It could be anything. What if a shark had a ghost?
That was the next movie, or was it?
I'm just asking.
You're just pulling that out of thin air.
I'm just asking a question. What about a talking dog that has a robot voice in it?
Oh, you're asking me.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Like Indiana Jones could do anything. Like, how about a father-son switching? Like that hasn't been done for a while.
This is a fun game, George. Why don't you rapid fire spit out some pitches for Indy 5, and Bill will tell you if you would like that movie or not.
Okay.
All right.
You can even just give the titles if you want.
Indiana Jones and the Fish of Wisdom.
I'm there.
Indiana Jones and the Ghost with the Most.
Is it the Seduction Ghost?
Nope, it's the one with
Not
the
interested then.
All right.
Rewrite. Do another pass on it.
Indiana Jones and the Seduction Ghost.
Can we set it in Providence, Rhode Island?
I'll let you write a draft of it, but then we're going to take it back.
Okay. Well,
George, promotion.
We have a deal.
A big Harrison Ford driving down the highway on the back of a van.
Oh!
Yeah.
How about this?
Across. He's like
that's all I need.
How about this? How about this? Because here's one we haven't done. It doesn't have to be an and the. People always think there has to be an and the.
True.
But how about this? Indiana Jones meets Dave.
Two giants with two franchises come together.
Yeah. How about this?
Two heads going down the highway in tandem.
Indiana Jones meets Dave, and we pull in Kevin Kline. We get that Dave.
This is like the Marvel, Avengers Endgame is kind of shaping up here.
Indiana Jones meets Dave. We bring in Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's. Rest in peace.
I just met him.
I think you're thinking.
I got this from him.
This is the other Dave Thomas.
Look at all these. Oh, no. you mean the
founder of Wendy's? Founder of Wendy's. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Indiana Jones meets Dave. We get Dave Thomas from SCTV of the Strange Brew fame.
Look at these Emmy winners over here.
Oh, that's so great.
How well dressed.
Look at
Yep.
Tony Rosado.
Tony Rosado is the real star.
Yeah.
Where did you meet Dave Thomas?
At a convention at Pensacon. Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, thank God it wasn't Mike Pence's famous disastrous convention.
Walking around, not touching people. Yes, Watto.
Yeah.
Can I make the pitch a little bit cleaner?
Yeah,
please do.
Why not have Dave Thomas play Dave Thomas?
Yeah, that'll do. I mean, I have a CGI Dave Thomas ready to go.
Yeah, but have that Dave Thomas play SCTV Dave Thomas, and have SCTV Dave Thomas play.
You're right, Watto. That is cleaner. It is.
Drop the and the. It's cleaner, Watto.
Yeah.
That is cleaner. We'll have CGI Wendy's Dave Thomas play SCTV Dave Thomas, and SCTV Dave Thomas play Wendy's founder Dave Thomas.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching Hollywood Magic. Just
there are going to be people. I can see it now. The critics are going to come after it, and they're going to say it's too many Daves.
Yeah.
I can see that. Critics will do that. They'll write the review before they even see the movie. The review of Indiana Jones meets Dave 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 meets Dave, and they're gonna say it's too many Daves. But I don't think it. If anything, I don't think it's enough Daves.
Too many.
How many Daves do you think is like ideally? How many
Let's get Lee Roth in there.
I mean Letterman.
Letterman.
No, I'm saying how many. We can talk about who they are, but
Ooh, a woo. That's so good. Ooh. I mean, yeah, I don't want to put a limit on the number of Daves. I'm going to say any famous Dave who's willing.
Yeah.
I think is in it.
What if it's called Indiana Jones meets Dave's?
I mean, that's probably what they're going to put on the marquee a lot of the time anyway.
So the audience who doesn't know, they're surprised. They're like, how many Daves is this going to top out at?
Yeah.
And the answer is it's never going to top out. It's infinity Dave.
We got to get everyone's saying we got to get Sims in there. We got to get Sims in there.
Yeah. George, look at you.
Yeah.
You're looking good, Ripley.
Looking real good.
You bitch.
Can I see? Yeah.
That's what I'm quoting Aliens.
It hits the ear wrong. It really hits the ear wrong.
Bill, do you like going to conventions? Are they fun?
To a point. Like 1 or 2 a year are enough. It feels sad if I go to too many and keep running into Lou Ferrigno.
Sure.
Just kind of sits there, and he makes a lot of money, but he's just
right.
He's basically like a bullfrog, just selling autographs.
Sure. Who besides Dave Thomas have you like freaked out about?
Did I say I freaked out about him?
No, but I assume that's cool.
That's what
I assumed you did.
We all pictured it.
Yeah.
What did you say? What did you say when you met Dave Thomas? Let's walk through it. What
I really was kind of knocked back on my heels because he was, a hero of mine, SCTV, and I was sitting next to him at a bar with a bunch of other people, and he was a little drunk, and he was just very garrulous and friendly. And I was like, oh, it's Dave Thomas plus 20 to 25 years. It's just what most people say when they see me, But it's like he was very friendly. I don't think he would know who I am at this point.
Sure.
I told him my life story, and yeah.
This is a good.
It's a sad ending.
Yeah. Indiana Jones in the perfect amount of convention appearances. That's a good title, George.
I mean, it's a struggle. That's a real challenge for the hero to overcome. How many is just enough?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do you guys think Indiana Jones would go to conventions? Would he get the invite?
Is he in his universe? Is he sort of a well-known guy?
He'd go to like academic conventions.
Yeah.
Within academic circles, I think he has a reputation, and within certain circles. But by the time he gets to retirement age, he's lost an eye.
Mm-hmm.
He's lost some of the status and prestige that he had in middle age and younger, and his life is one of frustrations, small and often trivial frustrations. People don't believe his tales. They don't. They're not convinced that he's on the level,
and they still don't think he's as cool as his dad.
No,
I mean, he's not.
Even though they both slept with a Nazi who talks in her sleep.
Yeah, and said that dad was a better lay.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, in my head canon, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember when did they say that.
No, I'm saying like I imply. I thought
you,
it was implied.
You did a little RiffTrax fan fiction when you watched the movie. Now, when you watch a movie just for the first time, are you able to let go, or do you have that impulse to want to have fun with it? Do you lose yourself into a movie now, or do you find yourself professionally doing your thing?
No, I like there are two. Like I know when I'm watching it to make jokes about it. So I'm either in that gear or
you
acting like a normal person
Mm-hmm.
enjoying.
Do you have a preference? Who would you rather be? Who would you rather be? You can only be one forever.
Of who? Between who and who?
Between Riffy Bill, Riffy Bill.
Oh,
and normal Bill.
Well, I think I have enough decades of Riffy Bill. I could turn him off and not miss him.
You would exile Riffy Bill away. You'd just be normal Bill forever.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's laying down some truth. Thank you for your honesty, Bill.
Yeah, I am all about truth, and I'm being real.
That's what we asked you to come on for.
Please be real.
When we think
Watto,
again,
the realest guy I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No bullshit with Watto.
No
I
bullshit.
was rendered without a bullshit filter.
It's true.
Hey, Patrick, I thought of a very funny joke. Can you ask me if Indiana Jones goes to conventions, but pretend it's the first time you asked, and I thought of this immediately, and then immediately cut to me in full screen?
Yeah. Wait, Watto, what did you what are you calling this?
Oh man, not a good start.
You said this is a joke, Watto?
I'm about to make a joke. Why?
It's not joke week, Watto.
What are you doing? Joke week's not until September 2021.
Sorry.
It's Vin Week. We all know that. I just want to make one. Can I make one joke?
Yeah, sure, Watto.
Okay, so say, do you think Indiana Jones goes to conventions? And
Hey,
then
George. Hey,
Okay.
George. George, I have a question. I just
Please
thought of
use
something.
please use that sort of semi falsetto that Watto just did.
George, I have a question, George. Do you think that Indiana Jones goes to conventions?
I mean,
I see.
You can
I
hop
said-
in.
I said ask me and then make me full screen. It's
Patrick-
like playing close.
Patrick, you couldn't have followed those instructions less accurately.
Hey, Watto, do
Do
you
your
think
real voice. You didn't ask me. You didn't cut to full screen.
I didn't use my real voice?
Yeah,
Hey, Watto,
Watto? Yeah, thank you.
Watto, do you think that Indiana Jones goes to conventions?
Part-time.
I could see that head being pulled down a highway on the
Ooh,
back of a U-Haul hitch.
that was
That
good.
was good.
Watto. Also, we made history tonight. That's the first time Patrick's used his real voice on the stream.
I know. This character. It's Bill. You have to understand. It's so annoying. We're doing a talk show every week, and George and I show up just
Be real.
We're ourselves.
Real
No-
as hell.
And Patrick comes on with all these bits and these character voices and these costumes.
And he's lowering
voices.
he's lowering his voice like that woman who was the president of Theranos, you know, the sort of
Elizabeth Holmes.
yeah. The way she made her voice go down an octave to be serious.
The exercises, and he never uses his real name. He always applies some fake name like Patrick Kottner.
Yeah.
His real name.
It's very frustrating to be real week after week when we're just being ourselves. And Sacha Baron Cohen down here can't stop doing the Borat at us.
I know he's doing characters every week.
You're talking about your just fractured childhood, and then suddenly like a circus clown bursts in with a seltzer bottle. It's like,
Sometimes I worry that Patrick's stream has turned to the USA Network because characters welcome.
Yeah. Right, and we're here trying to be like TNT. We know drama, and Patrick comes in like TBS, very funny.
Yeah.
Here he is again, trying out his low voice character.
Look at this character. This is one of his go-tos.
I believe he was trying to make Patrick Cottenoir happen too, right?
I was. We can add it to the list, sure.
1 week he put a black and white filter on, and he live streamed from a street corner underneath a street lamp with a fedora on.
And he hung Phoenician blinds from the street lamp.
Yes,
Just-
harsh lighting. Yes.
Anyway, Patrick.
If I could make it black and white. I don't even remember the question.
A
that
quack,
we were-
Luck Duck, that's another character. Knack Trick, Nap Snore.
Picture it, oink oink.
The question was, how many Daves do you think is appropriate?
Yeah, how many days?
Yeah. Me? How many do I think?
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, Patrick, this is your moment.
Take your time, Patrick.
We've been keeping it real as hell about the Dave thing, and we're inviting you aboard.
Yeah.
And
Like 6?
Oh, boy.
that's wrong.
Don't give us a bit answer. Give us a real answer.
Like
This is
Stop holding back.
Yeah.
Do you guys want more or less?
We want the truth from you, Patrick. Just be
Come on,
real.
man.
Just
No
be
more
real with us.
No more japes.
What about like 9?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you.
let's
Finally.
name them really
God,
quick.
it took a while.
Thomas, Letterman, Eddie Murphy. Who else did we say?
Lee Roth,
Lee Roth,
Grohl.
Grohl,
Kevin Kline,
Kevin
from the movie
Kline,
Dave.
Goals. We got one more. This is the last one. Oh, Sims and
True.
Sims.
That's it.
The Atlantic film critic, David Sims.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, okay, not Jersey Dave.
Oh,
See,
no.
Patrick, see, that's why sometimes when you think you're making jokes and having fun, you lose track of your actual friends and you end up hurting the people closest to you. Because Jersey Dave is just sitting there now, crying.
I'm sorry.
Crying.
I'm sorry.
If we cut back to Jersey Dave right now, he would be crying. Oh, Patrick.
Looked like crying to me.
Patrick.
He's laughing again. See, now he's crying.
Oh, he's very sad.
Very sad. You made him sad, Patrick. Why'd you do it? I would have had there to be 10 days and there'd be room for a Jersey Dave in there.
So then it had another one, George.
That wasn't the question. We asked you, Patrick, and you let us down.
We asked you to be real, and you got real. You got real mean.
Yeah.
This is starting to feel abusive. Which I like.
It is-
I do like it.
I agree. Patrick
Yeah.
has been abusing Jersey Dave for far too long. He's been abusing us.
All right.
Well, guys,
Bill,
I have to go celebrate some kind of holiday.
Pick one.
well,
Which one?
Vin Diesel week starts, and I got. Yeah, I have to take care of business.
Okay.
Got to go
course
Vin
we do.
Diesel shopping.
Bill, it was so nice talking to you. Thank you for coming. And
What a
spending
pleasure!
some
You guys
evening.
are legends. Thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you,
Thank you,
Patrick,
Bill.
Watto, Vin Diesel Pillow. I love you all.
Thank you, Bill. You're the
Bye,
best.
guys.
Bye bye.
See ya.
All right.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun. It was nice to talk to them. I liked being able to say goodbye to the guests.
But now the guests are gone. We have
Yeah.
no more guests,
It's true.
It does.
and it feels like the regular show's done, George.
What's going on?
It feels like that.
It feels different in the air.
It feels
Yeah,
different.
it feels different. Oh, and Watto,
Yeah.
thanks.